Welcome the students of SC Civil for the subject Concrete Technology Unit number 1, Introduction to Concrete and Ingredients of Concrete. So here we will use the reference book M.S. Shetty Concrete Technology Theory and Practice, then M.L. Gambhir Concrete Technology Theory and Practice, then A.M. Nevle, that is Adam Nevle, Properties of Concrete. We will see first the course objective. First is to know the properties of various ingredients of concrete and concept of mixed design. Second course objective is to learn the behavior and properties of concrete in fresh state and hardened state. Third course objective is to understand the special concrete and their applications. Fourth course objective is to understand the durability aspects and preventive measures to enhance the life of the concrete. Now we will see the course outcomes. First is the students will be able to select the various ingredients of concrete and its suitable proportion to achieve desired strength. Second course outcome is student will be able to check the properties of concrete in fresh state and hardened state. Third course outcome is student will be get acquainted to concreting equipments, techniques and different types of special concrete. Fourth course outcome is student will be able to predict deteriorations in concrete and get acquainted to various repairing methods and techniques. Now we will see the unit 1 introduction to concrete and ingredients of the concrete syllabus. Includes part A cement and aggregate, which includes manufacture, chemical composition, hydration, physical properties and mechanical properties, classification, types and application of the cement, test on cement, classification of aggregate, physical and mechanical properties of the aggregate, deleterious materials in the aggregate, alkali aggregate reaction, fineness and the gradation of aggregates using cement analysis, test on aggregates. It also includes part B, water admixture, which includes quality of water for use in concrete, role of admixture, classification and the types of the admixtures like accelerators, retarders, plasticizers, superplasticizers, mineral admixtures such as fly ash, silica fume, ground granulated blast furnace slag. Now we will see the part B, water admixture. First, quality of the water for use in the concrete. Second, role of admixture, and third is the classification of the admixtures. So first we will see the quality of water for use in the concrete. Water is an important ingredient of the concrete as it actively participates in the chemical reaction with cement. Since it helps to form the strength giving cement gel, the quantity and quality of water is required to be looked into very carefully. In practice, very often great control on properties of cement and aggregate is exercised, but the control on the quality of water is often neglected. Since quality of water affects the strength, it is necessary for use to go into the purity and the quality of the water. A popular yardstick to the suitability of water for mixing concrete is that if the water is fit for drinking, it is fit for making concrete. This does not appear to be a true statement for all conditions. Some waters containing a small amount of sugar would be suitable for drinking but not for making concrete, and conversely water suitable for making concrete may not be necessarily be fit for drinking. Some specifications also accept water for making concrete if the pH value of water lies between 6 and 8 and the water is free from organic matter. Carbonates and bicarbonate of sodium and the potassium affect the setting time of the cement, while sodium carbonate may cause quick setting and the bicarbonate may either accelerate or retard the setting. The other higher concentrations of these salts will materially reduce the concrete strength. Salts of manganese, tin, zinc, copper and lead cause a marked reduction in strength of the concrete. Sodium iodide, sodium phosphate and sodium borate reduce the initial strength of concrete to an extraordinarily high degree. Silts and suspended particles are undesirable as they interfere with setting, hardening and bond characteristics. Seawater has a salinity of about 3.5%. In that, about 78% is sodium chloride and 15% is chloride and sulfate of magnesium. Seawater also contains small quantities of sodium and potassium salts. This can react with reactive aggregate in the same manner as alkalis in the cement. Therefore, seawater should not be used even for PCC, that is plain cement concrete, if aggregates are known to be potentially alkali reactive. Researchers are unanimous in their opinion that seawater can be used in unreinforced concrete or mass concrete. Seawater slightly accelerates the early strength of the concrete, but it reduces the 28-day strength of the concrete by about 10% to 15%. However, this loss of strength could be made up by redesigning the mix. Water containing the large quantities of chlorides in seawater may cause efflorescence and persistent dampness. When the appearance of concrete is important, seawater may be avoided, may not be used. The use of seawater is also not advisable for plastering purpose, which is subsequently going to be painted. The latest Indian standard, that is IS 456-2000, prohibits the use of seawater for mixing and curing the reinforced cement concrete, that is RCC, and pre-stressed concrete, that is PSC work. This specification permits the use of seawater for mixing and curing of plain cement concrete, that is PCC, under unavoidable situation. It is persistent at this point to consider the suitability of water for curing. Water that contains impurities which cause staining is objectionable for curing concrete members whose look is important. The most common cause of staining is usually high concentration of iron or organic matter in the water. Similarly, the use of seawater may also be avoided in such cases. In other cases, the water normally fit for mixing can also be used for curing. So here we can see the test of water, the test and acceptable limits. The color test 5 Hazen units, odor test agreeable, pH test 6.5 to 8.5, test agreeable, turbidity test maximum 1 NTU, that is Nephilo turbidity unit, total dissolved solids test maximum 5 milligram per liter, calcium Ca test, that is maximum 75 milligram per liter, chloride test maximum 250 milligram per liter, fluoride F, that is test, that is maximum 1 milligram per liter, iron, that is Fe test maximum 0.3 milligram per liter, total hardness CaCO3 test, that is maximum 200 milligram per liter, and zinc Zn test, that is maximum 5 milligram per liter. So we have seen the quality of water for use in the concrete. Now we will see the role of admixture. These days concrete is being used for wide varieties of purposes to make it suitable in different conditions. In these conditions, ordinary concrete may fail to exhibit the required quality, performance or durability. In such cases, admixture Now we will see the role of admixture. These days concrete is being used for wide varieties of purposes to make it suitable in different conditions. In these conditions, ordinary concrete may fail to exhibit the required quality, performance or durability. In such cases, admixture is used to modify the properties of ordinary concrete so as to make it more suitable for any situation. Until about 1930, additives and admixtures, though used, were not considered an important part of concrete technology. Since then, there has been an increase in use of admixture. Though the use of admixture and additives is being frowned upon or scorned by some technologists, there are many, on the contrary, who highly commend and foster the use and development of admixture as it imparts many desirable characteristics and effect economy in concrete construction. It should be remembered, however, that the admixture are no substitute for good concreting practices. The history of admixture is as old as the history of concrete. Lack of education and awareness of the benefits acquired by the use of plasticizers, and we were used to making generally low strength concrete of the type M15 or M30, which do not really need the use of plasticizers. It will be slightly difficult to predict the effect and result of using admixture because many a time change in the brand of the cement, aggregate graining, mix proportions and richness of mix alter the properties of the concrete. Sometimes many admixture affect more than one property of concrete. At times they affect the desirable properties adversely. Sometimes more than one admixture is used in the same mix. The effect of more than one admixture is difficult to predict. Therefore, one must be cautious in the selection of admixtures and in predicting the effect on the same in the concrete. It will increase the slump and the workability, the role of admixture. Next is the reduce or prevent the shrinkage. Admixture will reduce the segregation. Admixture will improve the pumpability and the finishability. So we have seen the role of admixture. Now we will see the classification of admixtures. The classification of admixtures are made by two. One is the mineral admixture and second is the chemical admixture. Now first we will see the mineral admixture. It is divided into two, that is natural pozzolana and the artificial pozzolana. The natural pozzolana, which includes the clay and shales, volcanic chars, diatomous earth, volcanic tuffs and pumiceous. Artificial pozzolana, which includes fly ash, silica fume, rice husk ash, metakaolin and ground granulated blast furnace slag. It is also called as GGBFS. So we have seen the mineral admixture. Now we will see the chemical admixture. Chemical admixture, which includes the plasticizers, superplasticizers, accelerators and retarders. So we have seen the chemical admixtures. Classification admixtures we have seen mineral and chemical admixtures. So we have seen the classification of admixtures. So in water admixtures we have seen first quality of the water for use in the concrete, second role of admixture, and we have also seen the classification of admixtures. So these are the YouTube link which are available on the YouTube. Quality of water for the concrete, water quality for concrete, construction tips by Ultratech Cement, quality of water, physical parameter, lecture 6 by environmental engineering, admixture and its function on concrete, admixture number 1, plasticizer for concrete, admixture number 2, superplasticizer for concrete, admixture number 3, retarders for concrete, admixture number 4, accelerator for concrete, admixture number 5, superplasticizer, the wonder of fluid concrete, air entering agents for concrete, admixture number 6, pozzolanic or mineral admixture for concrete, admixture number 7, 1.8 mineral admixture, next 1.9 chemical admixture. Next YouTube link, that is mineral admixture part 1, mineral admixtures part 2, mineral admixtures part 3. Next YouTube link is the mineral admixture part 4, mineral admixtures part 5, mineral admixtures part 6, mineral admixtures part 7. Next YouTube link is the chemical admixture continued, concrete clips admixtures, module 01, lecture 04, admixtures in concrete, mineral and chemical. So we have seen the quality of water for use in the concrete, role of admixtures and classification of admixtures. So we have seen in unit number 1, introduction to concrete and ingredients of the concrete. The syllabus part A includes cement and aggregate, which includes manufacture, chemical composition, hydration, physical and mechanical properties, classification, types and application of the cement, test on cement, classification of aggregate, physical and mechanical properties of the aggregate, deleterious materials in the aggregate, alkali aggregate reaction, fineness and the gradation of the aggregate using swell analysis, test on the aggregate. Part B, water and admixture, which includes quality of water for use in the concrete, role of admixture, classification and type of the admixtures like accelerators, retarders, plasticizers and superplasticizers, mineral admixtures like fly ash, silica fume, ground granulated blast furnace slag. Thank you all students.